Thanks and welcome to join me, Kijang Henriette, and before the 6:15 news, let's have our top stories. Baccalaureate certificate. Those who have abandoned their certificates are streaming to collect them. And of course, amid inconsistencies noticed at the office, the Baccalaureate of Cameroon. And medics have raised alarm on the surge in rare disease, with over 700 or 7,000 rare diseases affecting the lives of about 300 million people globally. Those were top stories.
Canal International. Canal International.
Thanks for joining in. I'm Kijang Henriette, and of course, hook up with us on our social media handle on Facebook and YouTube. Now, many past students who abandoned their certificates at the Office de Baccalaureat du Cameroun, I'm talking about the baccalaureate certificate, have been streaming in to have them amid very many inconsistencies noticed during the collection exercise. Hyacinthia says it was a long queue of students who were streaming to pick up their baccalaureate exams, some dating since 1995.
They came rushing Monday morning to collect their certificates at the Baccalaureate office, Tropicana Yaoundé, before the given deadline. And here they are, sitting at the courtyard, in the garage and under the trees to wait for their turn. The laureates complain of the slow pace of the process. Why is it so slow? We came here at 6 a.m. Some of us are students and we are missing lectures. Look at this woman. She's already tired. It is not normal. The authorities on their part explain that there is a well-established programming for the collection process, segmented into two groups. Everybody wants to collect at the same time. We have a timetable for that. We have two areas where we receive laureates. One for those with older certificate from 1995 to 2019, and the other for 2020 and 2021. The teams receive 100 laureates per day.
100 lauréats par jour.
But the laureates decry the non-respect of such a program by those in charge. I'm coming from Douala to collect two certificates, BPC and BAC. I arrived here and it is pasted on the notice board showing that those of us for 2021 will collect today. But people came after me who are not even programmed for today, yet they are collecting before us. It is not normal. It should be recalled that the Baccalaureate office had earlier issued a communique calling on BPC and BAC holders to retrieve them before February 2024 or shall pay a fine before collecting after the deadline.
Thanks very much, Hassan. Muslims and Christians in Cameroon have been told to love one another, shun hate speech. In fact, clerics of the Ahmadiyya community say that these living together will be a driver to development. For they were speaking in the Noon Division and the West region of the country as they organize conferences to fight against hate speech. Ambo Gladys Zibang reports with girls from our West regional correspondent.
From the non-division, Mora, Kusiri, Garwa and Gaundari, these Ahmadiyya Muslim faithfuls are bent on putting an end to hate speech and to discrimination in all its forms. Meeting at the Esplanade of Government High School Fumban in the non-division West region of Cameroon, Muslim clerics of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community are sensitizing both Muslims and Christians alike on their responsibility in fighting against hate speech, which is viral on social media.
When we talk of Islam, it does not permit violence. It does not permit terrorism in any way. We are not to coerce anybody that if you don't believe, then we are going to end your life. No, Islam teaches justice and peace.
It was also an occasion to raise awareness on the importance of living together and caution young people who are under the influence of narcotics to stop consuming drugs.
The Muslims, as well as the Christians, they are all the creation of Almighty. And everybody deserves to live in peace. Your neighbor, your tongue should not affect your neighbor, and your neighbor should live in peace, so that all of us, for good, better development of the nation and yourself, you should live in peace with one another.
But we are all humanity. We are supposed to come together as one in terms of building our community, building our nation, building the world we live in, so that it becomes a happy place for everyone.
The Islamic Christian dialogue aims at promoting living together and social cohesion, love and sharing, all on the theme Love All, Hate None.
And the Central Regional Governor, Nasri Polbia, has completed supervision of a new site of the Kwabang market in order to decongest the town. Nasri Polbia was there, and he was thrilled by our chief correspondent in Yaoundé, Beatrice Nkamu.
Traffic that was typical along Kwabang Junction, Kolafamba district, in the Mefuanafamba division of the Central Region, slowly and surely disappearing. The cleanup operation put in place by Governor Nasri Polbia to decongest the area, taking shape, but not without some stumbling blocks and challenges. Central Regional Governor was at the locality this last day in the month of February 2023 to make sure instructions are followed to the latter. Nasri Polbia is satisfied with the temporary motor park in place and the new market site, two aspects that were responsible for the congestion around the junction. Crowds and movements now reduced. Cars now load and station at the back. The center regional boss then loaded the administrators to ensure permanent structures are erected, adding signposts should be planted all over to direct the population how to move around. This junction is the major passage between the north and south. Apart from the normal township taxis, clandos running nearby suburbs, inter-urban buses, very busy with heavy trucks plying the Central African Republic and Chad line. The governor's inspection visit also opportunity to have a working session with his close collaborators. From the mayor, the SDO, DO, the commissioner, and even head of bike riders took turn to give details of their efforts this far and the challenges in the course of execution. This includes instances of crimes, insubordination, illegal roadside drug vendors, and court cases, especially against the council. All minute details were given the governor, who instructed them to do all necessary to attain to the maximum their objective of decongesting the Nkwabang junction.
And the government of Cameroon is working towards job creation and career-ready educational system for learners at different levels. The Pradesh program is out to empower children gain skills to be able to fit into the job market or better still create their own job. Hyacinthia reports.
There are huge incompatibilities with what is studied in Cameroonian schools from the basic to university levels and the realities of the job market. These, to a large extent, accounts for the high rates of youth unemployment in the country. The coming into place of the secondary education and the skills development project with the first session of the steering committee opening this February 28th in Yaoundé may become a major solution.
La première fenêtre, c'est pour financer.
The first objective is to finance establishments and vocational training centers, helping in rehabilitating, restoring, equipping and the training of staff, putting into practice continuous training. All developed countries start training children in the primary school at the age of 8. We have to do that here to work towards industrialization.
En plus de la formation continue,
the initiative by the government of Cameroon and the World Bank is geared towards a complete revolution of the country's education.
For the first time, we are carrying the minds of the youth with us. Today, we cannot sit down, see the children all unemployed while we are happy that the country is going ahead. So what we're doing is that we are taking the children along. It is a time to reform education. We are moving ahead and expecting all Cameroonians to come with us.
The PADES project will also focus on training and developing skills and competencies within the informal sector, with the recruitment of over 500,000 trainees in the 10 regions of the country. They drive to train job creators and not job seekers.
And women in Cameroon or in Douala have been told to make sure they take courageous steps and embrace entrepreneurial skills. This call was made this morning at the Littoral Regional Governor's Office as they launch the Women Day 2022 activities. Dee Maureen was part of that and now reports.
The challenges of women in Cameroon are many, but despite the pressure, they say they keep on with the struggle to make ends meet and take care of their families suffering under the weight of extreme poverty. In this hall at the Littoral Governor's Office, hundreds of women are gathered to be part of the official launch of activities to mark this year's International Women's Day. The women leaders, drawn from different walks of life, sensitize their fellow women on the need to embrace digital innovation for nation building. They were encouraged to be daring, innovative, and build networks and entrepreneurial skills. From the regional delegate of women empowerment to the divisional delegates to the mayor and the governor's representative, the women synergized to be conquerors in every sector. Despite the courageous stand, women in Cameroon are still facing challenges, amongst them lack of education and training, gender inequalities, difficulty to access finance, fear of failure, and timidity that hinder them from progressing and to gain economic freedom. While officially launching the Women's Day week, several activities ranging from capacity building and skills building on petty trading, leadership skills, and more are on program that spans through all divisions that make up the littoral region.
And to succeed in that, Maureen, do you say that technology is one of those tools that the women need to be able to be empowered, and so the digital move is what is necessary? They have equally been told to embrace the digital economy so that it could help them develop more. Maureen, once more.
Constant sensitization and education of the women to upgrade in sectors of interest has pushed most to improve in terms of innovative techniques and approach. But again, most are limited when it comes to digital innovations. In Cameroon, just like in other sub-Saharan African countries, the problem is real.
When we give women power, they can do, and then we need to push those women who think that numeric or digitalization is only for men. We need to push those girls to be interested in the digitalization work.
This year's International Women's Day explores the impacts of the digital gender gap on widening economic and social inequality. Are women are ready for the digital exposure?
Society is patriarchal, and then they would touch women or girls just to do like gender or particular courses in school or particular score at home, We need to push those parents to push their girls, to push their students, or to educate them, to advise them, let me say to advise them to go or to take interest, to take part, because with innovation, the world is moving fast.
Women already in the digital world talk of advancements in digital technology, offer immense opportunities to address the gender gap and also achieve the 2030 Agenda on Sustainable Development Goals.
This term of this year is a bit out of subject. No, it's not out of subject. We are in the subject. You can see the impact of technologies of women. Like today, women are afraid to go on the internet because they don't know what they are going to see there.
Experts hold that misconceptions about technology have caused some women to downplay the opportunities available in the digital world.
Thanks, Maureen. And the Yaoundé Gynaecological and Obstetric Pediatric Hospital will be running a free campaign to reconstruct cleft lips and pellets in children. The said campaign is expected to run from the 14th to the 21st of March 2023. Chief correspondent in Yaoundé is Beatrice Ngamo, who reports now.
Like this child, many others are today born with birth defects, especially facial malformation, the most common cleft lip and palate. What has pushed the Yaoundé Gynecological Obstetric and Pediatric Hospital, Nguso, to come up with a way of helping parents take their children out of the situation they are in. The period from March 14 to 21st will be consecrated to a free campaign to reconstruct cleft lip and palate in children. Briefing the press ahead of the health campaign this day at the hospital, Dr. Faustin Mwafo Tambo said the malformation is before the birth of children, that is, during pregnancy. The causes are at times hereditary, consanguinity, environmental factors such as exposure to certain pesticides, but most cases sporadic malformation with original causes unknown. Important to sensitize women during pregnancy to avoid such situations. The abnormality common in the northern regions, though exists in all 10 regions of the country. It is not an issue of witchcraft. For proper medical surgery with specialists most often redress the situation to the maximum. Like children, it will be an opportunity for some adults to also reconstruct or correct their own situation.
And that report there by Beatrice Ngamo brings us to the end of the 6:15 news. I've been Kejang Henry Timbi, thanking you for being there with us. You can take the rendezvous with us tomorrow. And of course, coming up is Janice Kamga with The Brief. Good day.